Welcome to Freshman Film Room. If you're new to these videos, I'll quickly summarize. We're breaking down film on each of the UMass basketball team's 7 incoming freshmen, analyzing some strengths and weaknesses and potential fit, but as always, I'm not a scout, and this is only meant to be a primer ahead of the season. Today, we'll look at Preston Santos. The second Woodstock Academy product we've covered, and the second hailing from Rhode Island, Preston Santos is a 6'6", 180-pound wing who started the Woodstock pipeline to UMass. He committed to UMass last October, well before TJ Weeks, Trey Mitchell, or Tony Bergeron signed on with the Minutemen. Simply put, Santos is the best athlete in this class. He's a high-flying, above-the-rim sort of wing that you don't see anywhere else in this group. He's got jump-out-of-the-gym bounce, and that makes him a nightmare to deal with on the fast break. When he's got room in the open court and a runway to the rim, he's a problem. Even when he doesn't have much space to gather, he's still bouncy enough to get up and finish. His elite athleticism is on display all over the place, but really stands out whenever Woodstock had numbers in the open floor. He's left-handed but can finish at the rim with either hand, and his extra hang time gives him an advantage when it comes to contested layups. I don't know how much he brings as a playmaker, but he makes smart passes and takes care of the ball, and I don't think high-level facilitation is his job anyways. Santos' athleticism also makes him a very good rebounder. He skies for boards and is quickly looking for an outlet pass, something I saw him do all the time when he was at Woodstock. He's got a nose for the ball, and that's really apparent on the offensive glass especially. He was good for a couple offensive rebounds a game at Woodstock, constantly crashing the offensive boards and giving his team extra possessions. He made some easy buckets out of nothing, and that's something UMass has really lacked. Last season, Matt McCall lamented his team's inability to get easy baskets all the time, and that's somewhere Santos shines because of his athleticism in the open floor and, we'll get to this in a second, his defense. If my math is correct, Santos shot a ridiculous 71% on two-pointers last season. To put that in perspective, the best mark for any of UMass's wing players last season was Samba Diallo's 49% from two. 71% on twos for a perimeter player is ridiculous, but it's possible because of what he can do on the break and the number of easy baskets he generates. There are games like he had against Springfield Commonwealth last season where he gets into the open floor and he throws it down again and again and again. Easy buckets came at a premium for the Minutemen last season, and Preston Santos is full of them. I think I'm actually more impressed with Santos defensively than anywhere else. His length and athleticism give him real potential as a perimeter defender, and I could see him being very good on that end. He played at the front of Woodstock's press and was constantly harassing ball handlers, getting into passing lanes, disrupting offense. Once the ball gets across half court, he's still all over the place. He's got active hands, he's always there to contest, and he's constantly rotating to an open man. I'm so impressed by Santos' motor and his effort level. He's always locked in, he never takes possession off, and even when he gets beat, the effort to get back and recover is there time and time again. Bear with me for a moment. Watch these 3 sequences. On this first one, just pay attention to his engagement. He's fighting through screens, he's always got an eye on his man and the ball at all times, he's ready to contest if he needs to, and eventually, his active hands lead to a steal. He sprints out in the open court, gets the ball, and glides past his man for the lay-in. On the second one, he stays with his man through the possession, working through and around screens and following him all over the court. Once his man does get the ball, he stays with him and contests, forcing him into a tough pull-up jumper and an air ball. On this last one, Matt Cross gets beat and Trey Mitchell overcommits, and Santos immediately rotates and contests at the rim. He gets called for a foul, but it's great help defense. Those 3 sequences were 3 consecutive possessions. That's what Preston Santos brings. The downsides for Santos come almost exclusively on offense when the ball slows down. He seems to struggle to get into the offense sometimes in the half court, and I think there are 2 reasons for that. Number 1, he's not a great 3-point shooter. By my math, he only hit 29% from deep for Woodstock on almost 3 attempts a game last season, which is a pretty decent sample and not a great mark. That's not to say he shouldn't shoot them entirely. I think he can knock down open, catch-and-shoot threes, and he probably needs to if he wants to remain a threat on that end, but he could probably do without step-back threes off the dribble. Secondly, he's not a strong slasher in the half court. He can get to the rim on the break in his sleep, and while he can sometimes get to the basket and draw fouls, he's not causing teams too many problems going to the rim. If he gets some space, he's a great finisher, but he doesn't create a ton of that on his own. So let's recap. Preston Santos is an absolutely elite athlete. He has huge bounce and is a problem on the fast break and will help alleviate some of UMass's issues getting easy baskets. He's a strong rebounder on both ends and has the potential to be a very good defender with his length and athleticism. His effort and engagement on defense is extremely impressive, and I think that could go a long way, especially in a press defense that he's comfortable in, having played under Bergeron at Woodstock. He's not a great playmaker, but he takes care of the ball and he makes smart passes. On the flip side, he's not a great shooter and he's not a huge threat to beat a man off the dribble in half-court sets, but truthfully, I don't see a lot else in his game to complain about. He's so high effort and he's so athletic, and if he's smart with his shot selection, I think he's a positive on either end. To me, that effort and athleticism gives Santos a really high floor. At the very least, I think he'll be a very good energy guy off the bench. But especially in smaller lineups where Matt McCall has enough shooting on the floor to maintain spacing, I can see Santos finding starting minutes on the wing. But the ceiling's higher than that, depending on how his game comes along. Preston Santos has the length and athleticism to be a star on defense and in the open court, and that can go a long way. But one way or the other, he plays with the sort of effort and above-the-rim style that can make him a fan favorite from the jump. Thanks for watching. You can follow the Collegian on Twitter at MDCollegian or at MDC_sports and myself at Amin_Tori, and you can check out all of our content at dailycollegian.com. Special thanks to Chris Tucci, Riley Ubben, and Felicia Cordy. This has been Freshman Film Room, and next, it's the big one. Next week, we'll look at Trey Mitchell.